Speed in football games might be the most controversial topic that nobody actually agrees on. PES fans swear by slower speed being the realistic one. Some even like to play the game on -2 speed. They will tell you it's the most authentic football experience you can get in a video game. And then, on the opposite side of this spectrum, you've got the FC and FIFA crowd playing on faster settings, calling it dynamic, calling it real, because football is fast, right? But here's my problem with both of those takes. They are not really wrong, but they are not fully right either. Because I think the whole debate is missing the actual damn point. See, speed in a football game isn't about being fast or slow. It's about contrast. And without that contrast, without those both fast and slow moments, you're not really experiencing a football match in a video game. You're just getting kinda half of it. And the importance of contrast in terms of speed in a football game is what we are getting into today. But first, I think we should consider how a real football match tends to actually play out on the pitch. You've got long stretches of build-up, passes going sideways, back to the keeper, recycled through midfield and defenders. Players filling out the space, waiting for opportunity to create a chance. Nothing explosive is happening yet, and that's deliberate. And it's also not a boring football. Well, unless you are Arsenal or Atletico Madrid and the whole match just looks like that. Because normally, for most teams, that's a team building towards something without making bonehead plays. It's strategic and it can be kinda cool. And then, when they get an opening, things erupt. And that contrast, that slow grind followed by the explosive payoff, that's what makes football exciting. The fast moment hits harder because of the slow moment before it. And top footballers are obviously elite athletes. They are fast, agile, sharp. But they are also not sprinting for like 90 minutes non-stop. Nobody does it. The speed shows up when it matters. And that's what gives it weight and impact. So that's how football is on the real pitch. Now let's take a look at how I think both football gaming series approach this topic of speed. First style is EA's with FC's and FIFA tempo being basically non-stop high-octane action. From the first whistle to the last, everything is just fast. Everything is urgent, twitchy, and there's barely a moment to breathe. And I get why that exists and why it works for this company. EA didn't accidentally just, make the game feel like this. It's a deliberate design choice built for a specific kind of a player. It's made for Ultimate Team crowd. People who want a goal, who want the skill move payoff, an exciting moment, and they want it fast and frequent. I think it fits perfectly into today's modern era of short attention spans, of mindless scrolling, of instant gratification. And that audience is massive, and EA knows it perfectly. That's why the game sells so well. But here's what that design actually does to your brain when you are not that kind of a player. See, cognitive load theory tells us that the brain has a limited processing capacity. When the game throws everything at you at maximum speed with no let-up, it doesn't just feel exhausting, it is exhausting. You feel drained because your brain just genuinely is being drained and doesn't have space. You're not simulating a football match anymore. You are in a constant state of reaction with no room to think, no room to process the information, and no room to breathe. It also creates a state where you don't appreciate the fast action on the pitch, because honestly, after a few matches of FC, I just feel like it's monotonous just in a fast tempo. But then on the other end, you've got Pro Evolution Soccer Series, and specifically PES on -2 game speed experience, which actually a lot of people in that community genuinely swear by. And I kinda understand it. The slower pace gives you more time to think and process information. You've got more time to pick your pass, position your player, make deliberate decisions and choices. On top of that, low speed also makes the animations look a bit smoother in the game as they blend easier together. But here's the problem with that low speed. When the whole game is played at that low tempo, including the moments that normally should be explosive, the whole gaming experience also stops feeling like football. Your fastest players don't feel fast. Your best dribblers don't feel electric. That moment where a winger should just burst past a defender and make something happen? Well, it happens, but in a slow motion, so it's kinda missing the point. See, slow doesn't mean realistic, and fast doesn't mean dynamic. It generally means that you've got one half of equation and call it the whole thing. So where does that leave us? Well, I think that neither camp is stupid for defending what they actually like. Slower tempo fans in PES found something that feels considered and deliberate. Fast-paced enthusiasts of FC and FIFA found something that feels fast and reactive. And both of those things have real value, just for different crowds. But I think that both games are also focusing on giving you mainly one gear. And I believe that football doesn't work the best in just one tempo. No sport actually does. The best football gaming moments most of us can remember, and I'm willing to bet on this, weren't when everything was just fast or just everything was slow. They probably were when a match had a good rhythm and felt natural. When you grind through a midfield battle and then suddenly something breaks open and you have to react to it fast and instantly. And that contrast is what makes a football game feel the best. And without it, you're just picking your poison, exhaustion, or monotony. And until someone builds a game that genuinely gets this tempo right, we are going to keep having the same damn argument over and over again, just in different comment sections or posts. So, here's what I want to know from you. Has any football game actually nailed this feeling of contrast that I'm talking about for you? Has any game delivered the tempo shifts like you would expect from a football gaming experience? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, that's all from me in this video. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.